Hey, it's Soul, and welcome back to some more Horrific Vision commentary. This is part of a personal project where I take a class that I barely know, which is almost all of them, gear them up with only outdoor world content and horrific visions, and then work my way towards a 5 chest run. We're in Orgrimmar with an Elemental Shaman, and boy, this this was a heck of a learning experience. He's rocking an item level of 437 with this amalgam of corruption pieces, including a level 2 Infinite Star that has an item level of 420, a Mastery proc, and a level 1 Ineffable Truth, which I have no clue if they actually helped out or not. Probably the Infinite Stars, but sort of. His cloak is level 10, meaning 50% sanity resistance, and he has a Heart of Azeroth level of 79. So, way to go, artifact knowledge. He's using Breath of the Dying as his main essence with a rank 3 Purification Protocol, a rank 3 Condensed Life Force, and a pitiful rank 1 Crucible of Flame. The other essences were bought with Echoes of Nyalotha, which were also earned from just emissaries and assaults. For talent, he's running Echo of the Elements, Aftershock, Spirit Wolf, Liquid Magma Totem, Nature's Guardian, Primal Elementalist, and Stormkeeper. For Titanic Research, he's spec'd for solo play, including the Extra Life, and has 2 points in the Vision Hunter. He's buffed with the tried and true ghastly goulash food, and has kebabs at the ready. So, let the carnage begin. So before I begin, I should just make it clear that, yeah, that actually is me on screen, with the beard shaved and with unkept hair. I just got out of the shower, actually. It totally looks like a bum took over my chair, and that's just me making fun of myself. So, there we go. Hopefully, I remember the names of abilities here. So, I start kicking off here by, of course, going for the shaman. I start off with a lava burst and then immediately throw a flame shock just so I can get that extra crit. And I use reaping flames to try and get that extra damage in. So that's the kind of build that I focused on when going in with this run. It was to focus on doing plenty of AoE, but the actual killing is mostly going to be done with Purification Protocol because that's a strong AoE random proc that I get from my Minor Essence, but more than anything, Reaping Flames. So it's critical that I get proper use out of throwing out Reaping Flames when I need to, so that way I can just chain it and kill mobs extremely quickly, because otherwise I am incredibly awkward with the shaman. I do not play this character well at all, and people who've been watching me on stream, you guys would know, yeah, it's just bad. It's all bad. I can't. I just can't. It was, this is a real challenge. So I glance over to take a look and see what is the good vial, which happens to be the red one because the green there was identified as bad. I go ahead and go for the shaman, and once again I'm able to ace him very quickly. And here I happen to make good use of Reaping Flames and take care and dispatch these mobs very easily. It just sucks because I don't know. As a shaman, it feels really awkward that I am just kind of standing there hitting them all with all these different combinations of spells when I probably could be making better use of things like Earthbind and Frost Shock and things like that. But it just doesn't feel right, especially when I'm trying to beat the clock, when I'm fighting against time. So I eat up a kebab right before I go into the corrupted area here. I throw down that magma totem in the hopes that it'll do well, and I believe this is my first real try at doing a 5 chests in Orgrimmar. I previously made a bunch of attempts in Stormwind and I failed utterly, unfortunately. So here I am in a hopefully easier time. Unfortunately, I didn't get those Voidwalkers over there. That totem just unfortunately didn't do jack. I probably would have done better by using something like Stormkeeper and Lightning. So instead, I just pulled this elite over, and then I throw down. I use a Stormkeeper and a Chain Lightning to help bring everyone down at once. So I finally catch up to myself. Whoop-de-doo. But I'm making pretty good time now. So I still got plenty of sanity. I got that 200 sanity back thanks to Elite Extermination, and I'm ready to move on to the next couple of packs. So I go ahead and grab these guys. I don't really care about them too much because I'm going for the big marshmallow over there, because I wanted to take care of the Void Buffet. And I annihilate the guy. thankfully. I'm able to get some solid hits out just opening up, and so that's going to be a big deal going through this vision. It's to line up the really good stuff as an opener, and hopefully that'll take care of the most dangerous mobs that happen to cast fears or debuffs or some sort of attack that would do some sort of crowd control. So having that will make the rest of each of these small encounters much easier. So with these cleared out, I take care of totem number 1 and then totem number 2, and then I opt to skip a little bit, just a little bit, and go around that pack. I'll just kind of sneak around them here. So we're dealing with Scorched Feet, aka Hot Foot, and so here I go. I target the Shaman, get a combo out, use Reaping Flames, he's gone. These guys are not really a big deal, and I throw down that little Magma Totem. I leap over, use another Reaping Flames to take out the caster that's part of that other pack, and which pulls these other guys over here. And I try to AoE these guys down without too much trouble at all. Earthquake is something that seems low-key powerful. Maybe it's because the way that I have my damage numbers, it just doesn't really show up very well. And it doesn't really show the impact of what Earthquake does. Just earlier, you saw a little bit of awkwardness of me trying to manage Scorched Feet along with trying to get a totem. That's always going to be a struggle, right? So here, here's another example. Here's Scorched Feet. I'm trying to move forward to make the jump happen. It doesn't happen. You actually have to move in order to make Scorched Feet go off, or Hot Feet, whatever you want to call it. So here I get an opener in, which is a very bad opener, I should add. Didn't get a whole lot of damage in, but I was able to get a couple combos out and get half of his life down. But from here, I just try to control Hot Feet, try to move backwards away from these sorts of waves. Luckily, that second hopelessness was very easy to get by. It just popped pretty much right next to me, which I'm extremely grateful for. And he goes down without too much trouble. So we're at, it looks like a little bit under half sanity. We're approaching the 1/3 mark. So I pop another kebab here. Like I said, I'm really not comfortable with a Shaman. The time that I spent on him, leveling and getting him up there, it didn't really give me a chance to learn the class at all. And it was kind of last minute for me to learn Elemental. So when I finally started to try to pick things up, I just wasn't getting it. Casters are a little bit tougher for me than melee classes and definitely healers and tanks, at least when it comes to running these visions. I'm able to kind of fudge my way through. With an Ele Shaman, it was definitely a little bit harder. So I tapped that guy over there. I'm dealing with Leaden Foot, which I happen to forget several times during this run, unfortunately. But at least I start off with making good use of my movement. I take out this guy really quick. And I opt to go for this second pack here before popping my orb. I have a little bit of time, so it's okay. Might as well make most of the kebab that I ate earlier. So focusing 2 mobs at a time, sure, not too much of a problem. It helps with Gaera there, holding on to one of the ads and giving me a little bit less to stress over. But still a struggle when it comes to managing throwing Flame Shock on multiple enemies so I can get more Lava Burst procs and things like that. And so I'm kind of looking forward to some of the changes in Shadowlands and see how I deal with Torghast with all of these alts. So here I pop the orb and immediately go for the Dominator. I do a big opener. Look at its life. It's gone. It's gone. The best CC is death, they say. And it is no exception here. With the item level that I have, the neck level, and the Azerite traits that I was able to purchase, I'm able to take full advantage of that. So I try to do kind of a big pull here, and I pray to the gods of horrific visions that it turned out to be a good opener. And it was okay. Getting the Earthquakes out is huge, and that in retrospect is a spell that I totally underestimated until maybe 1 or 2 vision attempts ago. I didn't realize just how much damage I can throw out, and especially talented, if I'm able to throw out 2, maybe 3 of them at once, it's crazy damage that I'm able to get out. And on top of that, I might be able to get a free chain lightning out of it. So this was definitely a learning experience for me. This part happened to be a learning experience for me too, because I reminded myself that that's right, leaden foot. So here I struggle a little bit. I'm getting hit by random stuff. I'm just kind of like crawling away. I could have done things, in retrospect, I could have done things. I think I already did a thunderstorm, but these guys were just right back on me. And I was just being kind of dumb with the movements. But I take out that tentacle, that horrible, horrible tentacle, which makes this guy not that big of a deal. I'm at a little above half sanity. And so I open up nice and big. Look at that 279k crit. He's down to half life already. Don't underestimate Reaping Flames, guys. Proper use of that, you can easily get hundreds and hundreds of thousands of HP whittled away in just a moment. All you got to do is chain it right, make sure that your Reaping Flames kills that target, and the next target is going to take double the damage. It's amazing, especially if that happens to kill that mob. So there's a good use of Stormkeeper, as well as the Earthquake proc that I get. Well, not so much a proc, I just happen to get a whole lot of Maelstrom from it. And this guy goes down without too much trouble. Thank you, Infinite Stars. And I'm ready to take on the next bomb. I still haven't used that second orb yet. I'm able to stay pretty caught up with myself by taking out some of the trash a little bit earlier. But now I got to struggle a little bit with leaden foot. I'm a little bit slower here. I don't refresh my stacks fast enough. Ghost Wolf didn't use it. No explanation why. But raw power was able to get me through this. And I'm at half sanity now. There is no point to using a kebab here. The sanity drain is just a little bit too much, and I'd rather save that for later. So I open up nice and big with this guy. I could have opened up maybe a little bit bigger. There's no reason why I couldn't have. But going in here, getting into the boss's hitbox so I can avoid some of these attacks is extremely helpful, especially because he spawns adds. I'm able to kind of keep my chains going, and here's me throwing down another Earthquake and just kind of tearing at him as adds come out. I typically have enough Maelstrom to throw down an Earthquake almost right away, so there it is. Adds come out, Earthquake, Chain Lightning, and down they go. Unfortunately, of course, there I am taking almost 100 sanity hits, which is whoops. But things happen to work out. One more Earthquake to take out the adds, and now I just got to clean up and get out of here. So I get plenty of sanity that I can proceed a little bit further. But once I land, I'm going to use a kebab anyway, since I happen to be back in a tainted area. The sanity drain is considerably less, and now I get a chance to look at that awful hair. What was I thinking doing a recording? Maybe I'll cover... No, I'm not going to cover myself. I'm just going to live with the shame. That's... Sorry, guys. Not on my best form, but I'm doing pretty well in this vision. Much better than I did in Stormwind. That was plenty humiliating. So without too much rhyme or reason, I pop a Stormkeeper here so I can take these mobs out fairly quick. That way I can set my orb up right over here at this entrance. So I bought myself just a teeny bit of time here. I pop the orb, and then I open up on these guys right over here. So I open up big, go for the tentacle first. I know it's going to come my way, and in the meantime, I'm not going to be able to do as much damage to it as I like. I throw down the cute little lava totem, which really didn't help. I would say that it's not the greatest thing. It helped a little bit, you know. It's doing some damage. It's helping to whittle these things down, on top of Earthquake and the other little things, you know, the Azerite's trait procs, the Essence procs. All those things helped out a little bit. So I open up kind of big here, along with the Reaping Flames. He's, it doesn't do a whole lot of damage, though. It only takes off a little bit more than 10% of his life. And so I just start, now it's a fight. Now it's just a brawl. Me versus him. But not a lot of pressure. I got plenty of sanity to work with. I still have one more orb left. I just need to make sure that I not go too slow through this area. Try not to make too many mistakes. And I'll have plenty of juice for Rexar. Boy, oh boy. So down he goes. Hello to Garona. And that happens to be... That looks like a red potion over there that I should be drinking, but I did not. I think I just forgot about it. I believe red was the potion for me to drink up. But that's my fault. So it's always a good idea to try to take advantage of the different vials whenever possible. And I should just remind you here, when I opened up big with the Dominator, with the Lava Burst and Flame Shock combo, along with the Essence, and that just blows them up. It's a nice way to take out those dangerous mobs, like I've been saying. And from there, this guy, he just looks big. Whatever. He's not a big deal. La la la, down he goes. So I pop Stormkeeper, and I go for the Mind Carver instead. Not for the Tentacle, he's going to come my way. I wanted to get the Mind Carver because he can, you know, if I leave him alone long enough, he'll do like a stun or a fear, whatever it is. And that can cause, not trouble, but just wasted time. Just like the Tentacle. The hated, no one likes you, this darn Tentacle guy. So I believe these are one of the few instances where I do use Earthshock. Because there's so few targets and Earthquake isn't going to do much. I gotta go. Gotta get stuff done. I'm at a little bit around 2/3 sanity, but it's really time to get a move on. So let me get this named guy out of here. And here I finally notice a vial. Go me, thank you. 100 sanity for me. Garona, I believe, is taking on that ad over there while I open this up here. Open up that barricade. I open up on the Dominator. And down he goes, almost. There we go. There goes that Reaping Flames. And I go ahead and bring these mobs together. Throw down the cute little fire totem. It's so cute and adorable. It's trying so hard, guys. And I make good use of Reaping Flames here. So I looks like I think we're going to go for the bigger guy. Yep, down he went. One more good Reaping Flames. One more good cast. Boom, and another Reaping Flames, down he goes. And the room is clear. So earlier, I had tried out Stormwind by using the Azerite Beam, the Focusing Iris. People kept telling me, dude, the Meme Beam, it's great, it's awesome, and it is awesome. But it also has a 90-second cooldown. And there's no way for me to kind of cheese or otherwise achieve some sort of mastery over that ability. And I just feel a lot more comfortable with Reaping Flame. So that's something I recommend for anyone, is to just be comfortable with whatever you're using. So for this guy, I open up kind of big, and I'm making very bad use of my elementals. There are many occasions where I could have used Earth Ellie or Fire Ellie just for the sake of getting a little bit more throughput out. I could have used it here, and I didn't. But here we go. I'm just using this tree here to take care of the Void Torrent, because I can just hide behind this thing, and it's almost a bug, but I'm not going to complain. In many cases, except for that case you happen to see right there, the Void Torrent will just be absorbed by the tree trunk, so I just hide behind that, and that's pretty much it. That's all I really need to do. But at that point, at that moment at least, I had to kind of John Woo dodge that thing really quick. But down he went. Off I go into Rexar land, but not before I encounter the bouncer. Hello. So I open up with the usual combo, but I also opened up with Stormkeeper because I know that it's going to be available a little bit later when I actually fight Rexar. At least I believe I use it. So I use the line of sight here to get away from the maddening roar and avoid some of that sanity damage. It's not a big deal. I am going to use an orb specifically for Rexar, but I still need to get to him. And I need to make sure that I don't screw up in the process. So I try to get these darn things away, throw down some AoE, and just kind of like hit the button. I know that I'm going to be using an orb soon, so I'm just like, okay, is this going to work? Is this going to do well? Good enough. Great. And hey, look at that. A red vial. Thanks. Not a big deal. And here I go with the classic skip, where I just kind of go through this area, take tons of damage, and somehow survive. This is where Ghastly Goulash really comes into play. Without it, I would run the risk of absolutely dying. And so this is it. One orb left. I'm about to use it. Me versus Rexar and Thrall. So I got to make this thing last. And I do have the extra life too. So I open up on Rexar. I got to bring him down at least enough so that Boar comes out. Hello, Boar. and then I switch to the boar, focus on him, interrupt that cast. My plan is to use Earth Elemental in just a little bit, so that way it absorbs some of those casts of the quills, or at least I think it does. We'll be able to observe right here if it actually does it. So there I take one hit, and there I pop the Earth Elemental. Come on, boar. Cool. So it looks like Quills is yeah, it looks like Quills. Well, it looks like it didn't go off. It died before I really got to take advantage of, well, whether or not the Earth Elemental was going to take care of it for me. So here, we get more boars coming out. This is where I do pop. This is where I do pop more cooldowns. Here we go. Down it goes. And here's where I try to make good use of Reaping Flames, but in the bit of panic, I screw up. So you can see, you can kind of see, if you look at my hotbars, it's towards the top, the fourth from the left. That's where my Reaping Flames is. It's on a long cooldown, unfortunately. But at this point, we can be nice and calm about it. Just keep it chill. Got plenty of time, and he goes down. I get a couple hundred sanity back. And now I'm going to encounter a suspiciously difficult pack here. This guy hits hard, really hard. The knockback hurts, the poison and the stun and these bugs that cause a stun, that stuff hurts. So I got to be a little bit careful here. Can't be complacent because there are a number of times where if I position myself improperly, that big guy will knock me back, and he'll knock me back into the previous packs that are down there, and then I'll be in a lot of trouble. So just be a little bit careful there. Down it goes. If I had the extra sanity, I might have gone for these packs first and then go for Rexar. That way I can get a little bit of time back. In this case, though, I was fine either way. I have plenty of sanity. I have my extra life, and now it's just me and Thrall and his two boars. So I take in one more kebab because I might as well. Play it safe, right? So this run turned out to be a relief. Because some of these encounters here were the first time that I encountered them ever. Hey, look, there's one more vial. One more little bit of help. Why not? So this was my first attempt in Orgrimmar. I open up on the boar, open up nice and big with the, I think I bloodlusted here. Yes, I did. There we go. There's the bloodlust. And so I focus on the boars, take care of them, fire Ellie's out, and there it is. And now it's just me and you, Thrall, and my fire Ellie for the next couple of seconds. Oh, and there's my cute little totem as well. Can't forget that. So it turns out that Reaping Flames was extremely successful for this particular run. Now, Stormwind may be a different story, but what's most important is to achieve that sort of mastery when it comes to using it at the right time on the right mob. That way you can just kind of cascade and get some really, really powerful hits in very quickly. That'll help when taking down important mobs. It'll help if you can open it up or otherwise save it for an elite, or even better, an area boss, because that'll save you a ton of time if you can kick it off with a really strong crit, and then in 15 seconds you'll have your next one available again. Of course, in this case, it's Thrall. We're pretty much approaching the end, so I'm just kind of popping whatever I can think of or whatever I can remember. Sure, Earthshock. Yeah, I remember how to use that, absolutely. Trying my best to refresh my my flame shock and all that sort of stuff. But there we go. So I still think I did pretty bad here. There are so many things that I could optimize, and things that if I was doing mask runs would be absolutely unforgiving. But before that, let's do a little bit of celebration and maybe relief. Let's go ahead and open up stuff and see what we get. In this case, I'm finishing up my quest to get the rank 11 cloak, which will bring my sanity resistance up from 50% to 65%, which is huge. This is what's going to really carry me and get me through to Stormwind. So this guy's going to kind of sit. He got an Azerite set of Azerite shoulders, which do nothing for me, unfortunately. Whoop-de-doo. So I'm just gonna have to hope for some good drops, or hopefully a good emissary, because because remember, that's all that I'm working with here. And so I'll just try to do my best to have that, to have everything that I need. So that's going to be it for me. And I want to thank you for making it to the end. And that is it for my shaman in Orgrimmar. It's off to Stormwind next week, and so wish him luck. But of course, if this was at the very least helpful or entertaining, or you just enjoyed watching this little dumpster fire, please hit that like button and subscribe for more of this and all things Warcraft. I'll see you next time. Until then, stay safe, stay happy, and stay breezy.